Hello friends and welcome back to Cine Club. It's been quite some time since I've made one of these, but here we go, another bucket list video, aka movies I want to see in this lifetime. And I gotta tell you, this month was not a particularly happy movie kind of month. But don't worry, it's still really good, so let's get started. The first movie on the list is Memento, starting with some Christopher Nolan just to really get the brain screwed up and confused. Now sadly, I already knew the ending of this movie because some people just can't contain themselves. However, it didn't make it any less surprising or interesting to watch. It's very strange watching a story unfold backwards and how the meaning of the whole story changes in context with this timeline. Leonard has one mission, to track down the man who killed and raped his wife, and because he has short-term memory loss, he has to write all his clues down, in notes or tattoos, in order to keep track of his vendetta. As you can imagine, with Nolan, time and the concept of what's real and what isn't are like the toys he loves to play with. So in the end, you keep asking yourself what is real and how subjective is reality. It was very, very good. I highly recommend it to everyone. Just remember you have to pay attention to every single detail. If you thought we were going uphill to Happy Town, you were wrong. Next movie I saw was American History X, starring Edward Norton and his glorious body. Sorry, that's not the point of this movie. The movie is about two brothers, Derek and Danny, who are part of a neo-Nazi community, if you will, and how their extreme views on race and violence have affected their lives. It follows the story of Danny, the younger brother, as he realizes his views might not be the best ones, as he learns how his brother changed in prison. It's super unsettling seeing people, even if they are actors, speaking so freely about how inferior other races are and how violence and extermination might be the only solution. But the movie has to be ballsy in order to explore the root of racism for these characters, and how it's centered on pain and trauma. It's not a movie you want to see over and over. I don't think I even fully watched the teeth on the curb scene. I think I shut my eyes at some point during it, and it gets even more violent after that. However, it's definitely worth a watch. I personally hated the ending. It felt abrupt, but don't worry, I won't say anything else for your sake. Let's go for something more cheery, but not really. Not really at all. Next up is Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's basically an earlier version of Wolf of Wall Street. Look, I'm not kidding. It is almost the same character and the same storyline. Basically, this kid grows up idolizing the mob and ends up working for them and wanting to do absolutely anything to make it to the top. Seriously, if you switch the word mob for Wall Street, it's the same thing. Anyway, the movie is the rise and fall of characters that belong to this mob family, how friendship will not stop anyone from betraying you or taking you down if you deserve it. Hell, even if you don't deserve it. While it's not a comedy, Ray Liotta's character is a fun narrator and his story is very interesting. However, if you've watched my videos long enough, you know I have certain issues with Scorsese, and they are silly, but I feel like I see the same characters and dynamics over and over again in his movies. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, it's certainly a great movie, but not one I would rewatch anytime soon. Next up is The Green Mile. I know. I guess I thought if we're gonna go down this depression road, we might as well catapult our way into it, right? So The Green Mile is one of those movies on my list that I kinda have seen before, but don't think I ever sat through the whole thing until now. The Green Mile, based on a novel by Stephen King, tells the story of prison officer Paul Edgecombe and his time supervising the death row, or what they refer to as the Green Mile. In his time as a supervisor, he gets a prisoner called John Coffey, played by Michael Clarke Duncan. Bless his soul. And the movie is basically the story of him getting to know Coffey and the events that transpire during his time in prison. If there is a movie for you to ugly cry in, it's this one. I think I cried in 5 separate scenes, and by the end I was just unrecognizable. Every performance, even if you despise the characters, is superb. To say that Tom Hanks is the least impressive performance here is not an insult. He is amazing in it. It's just that everyone is so good. Michael Clarke Duncan just rips your heart out, and his character stays with you for a long time after this movie is done. Even the characters you truly despise, like Sam Rockwell's character, oh yeah, he's in this. They're all so well developed and flawed and tarnished human beings. The story is magical even if it's depressing. Trust me, don't skip this one. It's really long, but in my opinion, totally worth it. Just make sure you look at a lot of videos of puppies when you're done. Now for another movie starring Tom Hanks, let's go with Road to Perdition. I love anything directed by Sam Mendes, and this movie is no exception. Based on the graphic novel, Road to Perdition follows the story of a boy and his father, and how everything goes wrong when he finds out what his father does for a living. He's a henchman. That's basically it. The problem is, the boy witnesses them taking someone down, and the mobster doesn't want the boy to live. So now the father, played by Tom Hanks, has to destroy all his alliances and loyalty to this family in order to save his son's life. In its core, it's a story about a father and son. He recognizes it's too late for him to find redemption, but he can save his son's innocence no matter the cost. And it's also about the boy loving the man he knew as his father, not the man who hurt so many people. It's one of those few times Tom Hanks plays a bad guy, and even so, you still root for him because his mission is very noble. Look, I know this list is depressing, but I love them all so far, I'm sorry. Don't worry, I saved the real pièce de résistance for last. Oh man, here we go. I have avoided this movie for years, mainly for two reasons. One, I'm very sensitive to movies about the Holocaust. I saw some bits of a Holocaust movie when I was a child and it deeply affected me. And two, I have heard so many good things about this movie, I was worried it wouldn't live up to all the praise. Well, I saw it and thank God I did because this movie is just beyond. I have no adjectives for it, it's just beyond. I'm pretty sure if you haven't seen it, you know what Schindler's List is about. It's about Oskar Schindler in German-occupied Poland in World War II. Now he gradually changes his priorities from becoming rich from the war to becoming concerned for his Jewish workforce and decides to employ and save as many Jews as he can without raising suspicion from the most heinous villain, Amon Goeth. Amon Goeth? Amon Goeth. You get it. It stars Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes, and I always get these two confused, and Spielberg didn't really help me by putting them both in the same movie. And throughout you see how Schindler changes from a womanizing, self-absorbed ass to a man with integrity and true purpose. You know who doesn't change at all? Fiennes' character. Look, we've mentioned plenty of loathsome characters in this bucket list episode, but Fiennes takes the cake, the medal, and the certificate. He is the absolute worst, but he is so good at it. It's actually really terrifying. I love that it's in black and white and how it forces the cinematography to play with light and dark. I love the choice of wide shots when they are building the concentration camp or when they liquidate the ghettos, because it shows you, even though we are focusing on one story, which is Schindler's story, this really happened in this way. It is such a perfectly made film, and it wasn't an easy feat by no means, but Spielberg beyond succeeded with Schindler's List. Even moments that I know are coming, like Schindler's final words to his employees and the way he breaks down, I know all the words even beforehand, and even so, Liam Neeson's performance had me in tears. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Don't be like me, just watch it as soon as you can if you haven't. So that pretty much wraps up my last bucket list films. I know it was a very gloom and doom list, but I genuinely loved every single movie on this list. Let me know, have you seen any of these movies? What did you think of them? Also, let me know which movies are in your bucket list. Which movies have you been meaning to watch for years and haven't? Let me know in the comments section, or you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook if you look for Cine Club channel. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you on our next movie date.